one game of Blank Assassins versus Eclipsed. They gave us the readies, so we're going to get right into it. Jibba is your caster, but I'm going to be silent casting, and tonight you have Mr. CB and Charles. So I will let them take it from here.
How's it going?
So this is week 9 of Tier 1 here in the Overwatch Oasis League, where Blank Assassins take on Solar Eclipsed, which until 2 weeks ago this slot was Mintons, but new roster, new name, and new me. So Blank Assassins so far working with an extremely healthy record. 6-0 so far this season, looking absolutely invincible. Solar Eclipsed so far 2-4. Bottom of the table, hoping to climb up. A win here brings them 3-4, so not quite out of the bottom, but baby steps towards the top. Lineups over here, we have Nasty and Cool Fast here playing tank on the side of Blank Assassins, joined by Icy Wolf, Lil Lucan, and on the support line we have Giants with Suns. On the side of Solar Eclipse, we got West, J-Dog, Pyro, Rogues, Izzy, and Funny Rafa. Looking forward to some explosive Overwatch here, CB.
Yeah, I mean, I casted one of Eclipse games before. It was a very close one. I believe it was either 4 or 5 maps. I forget the record, but they played very well. And as for Blank Assassins, I've also had the pleasure of casting them, so I know that this team can be very good. And as we know, they're 6-0, so looking forward to it. Seeing what each team has to offer here.
So Assassins coming out swinging nice and early. Icy Wolf takes on J-Dog already as Pasty and Coolfast over here coming out with the Ball and Monkey, looking to play a very divey style, as we can see. Nasty jumping in here. Coolfast slamming down, not quite fighting anybody, but they do manage to cap the point over here. Starting off with the dive composition, but playing a very brawly style with Lil Lucan helping add a little bit of spine to this team here, CB.
Yeah, and I think that just straight up in a comp versus comp meta right here, I honestly think Blank Assassins has the superior comp. They are going to lose out right here, but they do have the superior comp. I mean, the tank line for Eclipse just, to me, doesn't make any sense. But, we'll see what they can do with it. I do think Blank Assassins do have a better comp, though.
Yeah, the Rhine Hog, not something we've seen very often here, and West, just a little bit of a charge up here, a little bit of a tactical crouch, taking a little bit of damage, hoping to get Izzy charged up to that nano boost. Rogues here with the blade ready as well could be massive. So the Shatter comes through, finds the Monkey, but the counterpin comes through, and J-Dog falls very, very early here. Now Rogues here goes in with the play, but Icy Wolf matches, gets a kill onto Izzy as Nasty takes down Funny Rafa. Giants finds a backline kill onto Rogue as well. That Nano Blade not really working out for them, as the point tips back over to the Blank Assassins over here with both tank ultimates online. This ult advantage is looking quite steep on the side of Blank Assassins here, CB.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that Eclipse didn't win out on that fight. They were up so many ults. They even invest Nano Blade into it, and it just doesn't pan out. Like, the normal Dragon Blade from Icy just found so much more value, and he just popped off. I don't really know what else to say, but here comes the Molten Core.
Well, the Molten Core comes through as J-Dog gets trapped in a corner and gets burnt down and absolutely toasted, not just by the lava, but by the turret as well. We have West 4 Kid over here, Scrap Gun in hand. He's trying to solo ult Coolfast, but it doesn't work out as they do not manage to cap this point over. The ult advantage continue to be maintained over here. Izzy Wolf halfway to a blade, but more importantly, Nasty and Coolfast with both tank ults online. Now, Nasty forced down, most likely by Rogues over here on that Bastion, forced to commit the Angry Monkey as the Primal Wave slaps the Reinhardt out of position over here. A charge, taxiing Coolfast back in the middle of their own backline here. J-Dog could have made some moves with that charge, but West goes down early as well. Now they're trying to match it with that Monkey, switching off the Roadhog, hoping to get a little bit of dive action going here on Westcourt, but still not really the combination that we're used to seeing. A Monkey with the Winston. J-Dog charges in here, doesn't find anybody with the charge, goes into the fight, looks like a 3-on-4 fight, shatters straight into the bubble. The minefield comes out, but it's unnecessary. It is the end of the point, so you throw it in just deflects. The Nano comes out onto the Monkey, manages to attack the point, but shoved into the mines by Coolfast, and that looks like a point capture. Oh, I could be wrong. I have cast a curse so quickly into this matchup. Pyro gets a triple onto the backline, but Coolfast has the mines waiting for our favorite British pilot. Now, with the Echo coming onto a point, as Rogues do their best to try to hold out here and stall out, but that is too little too late. J-Dog managed to touch, swing away on point. Now just hard shielding, trying to stay alive. Charges away from the point. Westford Kid is spinning to winning, hoping for the best. This is a lengthier delay than I expected over here. Rogues now coming back as well. Now the Molten Core is going to make that Fall's job very, very difficult as the beat comes out from Funny Rafa. Icy Wolf finds Izzy in the backline as Coolfast spins to win, knocks J-Dog off the point and into the spawn room. Icy Wolf finds an exit kill as Blank Assassins finally managed to close out. Not a terrible stall coming up from Solar Eclipse, but Blank Assassins looking like the cleaner team here so far.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, that whole last engagement was one straight up from the back of Lucan. His Torb just found the pick on the tanks on both of the fights, you know, one onto J-Dog and one onto West respectively, and it really just allowed them to stay on that point, and it really opened up the fights for them to just win it out. That being said, I will give a big shout out to Pyro. That was a nice little pulse bomb 3K. You don't see that every day.
And your thoughts on the Junkrat pick here?
It's very interesting. I mean, it's good if they decide, well, if Blank Assassins decides to go into one of these rooms in the small choke. I would have preferred to see the May, because this is a very good point to just wall off and, you know, you can do a lot of things with it.
West goes in very deep and ends up very dead. The charge directly back to your spawn room. Coolfast and Giants take down one apiece as well, and that is an early capture coming on the side of Blank Assassins. Not quite sure what Westford was expecting to happen there with that charge, but Icy will find out 2 exit kills as well as West switches over to the Roadhog.
Yeah, I don't know what Wes was really thinking right there, charging. Maybe he was thinking that they were going, like, main, going straight to point, but even then, you know, you gotta play a little more passive than that when your team's just not all behind you. But, you know, we'll see what they can pull out here. I still don't agree with this Junkrat pick, to be honest, but maybe they're thinking it can, you know, disrupt the Torb. I'm not sure.
The shield pressure might be coming in as well, but Nasty and the Pacey finds out West as well. Rose does find a kill onto Giants, clips that Batiste in the head with a lovely, very well placed Sonic Arrow there. Rogues finds a double kill, Suns go down as well. Westford does get res. Izzy does trade up their life for that. Icy Wolf finds out where they are, takes down Izzy, but Lil Lucan falls on the backline again. Rogues is absolutely unstoppable. Finding picks left, right, and center. Funny Rafa and Westford get one apiece as well. Now Rogues just spamming some cautionary arrows into the air just to flex as Solar Eclipse begins their point capture progression.
Yeah, and you know, I do agree with this Hanzo pick. He, I mean, as you can see, it's paying off, but Hanzo is just so good in these maps. There's just so many open lanes he could just like find picks from. There's the high ground he could just be on. You know, Hanzo is just a great hero onto this map. Here comes the Dragon Strike.
Yeah, the Dragons come through the middle. It doesn't find anybody, but they do manage to split Blank Assassins. That Sigma looked a little bit alone right there, but Coolfast has managed to regroup with their team. That Molten Core comes out, forcing Solar Eclipse to back out as the point progression comes back through. Now, the Nano Mercy comes through. What can Izzy get done? Looks like exactly what Battle Mercies usually get done. Now, J-Dog takes down Giants Immortality Matrix here as they are affordably trying to push in. Izzy finds the res onto West as Nasty in the Pasty and Icy Will finds a kill a piece. Lil Lucan finishing off, takes down Funny Rafa as well as Blank Assassins continue to look extremely healthy here. But 2 ults, 3 ults coming online on the side of Solar Eclipse, maybe 4 if this fight goes their way.
Yeah, I feel like if Funny Rafa didn't nano the Mercy, I'm pretty sure that was by accident, but if it didn't happen and he nanoed it to maybe Hanzo or Junkrat, they could have had a chance here. Well, they could have, you know, retained the point, but in any case, they do have plenty of balls to work with, and, you know, Riptire is one of them, and it's coming straight for them.
Yep, well that Riptire gets absolutely melted, coming through where everybody is looking right behind that Amp Matrix was probably not the best idea, as Solar Eclipse continues to power forward, but West does drop early. It is 99% and counting, and it ends up, they're not able to touch. Blank Assassins takes this first map here in the Overwatch Oasis League. It is Blank Assassins 1, Solar Eclipse 0. A very, very, I want to say, I mean, a very team-orientated and a very clean and understated victory coming up from Blank Assassins here, CB.
Yeah, I mean, Rogues, he really tried his best right here. he really did put up a good performance on the Hanzo, but it just wasn't enough to just stop Blank Assassin's team coordination. Really, like they just had the better coordination in my opinion, and that's what really put him over the top in that one. Alright, let's see if we have any subs coming through. Not really too sure. They're just kind of spamming in the match chat, but anyways,
we're also learning that Izzy is playing for an EU server, so best of luck to them as they deal with ping issues. But moving on to Eichenwald, so this is the new map rotation starting on week 9. We saw it coming in yesterday. Now Eichenwald is a little bit infamous for this point A and how susceptible it is to like a spam meta. What are your thoughts, CB?
Yeah, Eichenwald is one of those maps where you typically see a lot of double shield, and I mean, there's not really much else you can really run on this map. You can't really run dive. There's not too much you can work with here. And as for DPS, you can run the Junkrat, you can run the Bastion, and you can get away with a lot. And the DPS, you can flex a lot. Support, you gotta stay with the tanks, of course. But I mean, Eichenwald, I mean, on defense, you just have to run that double shield, or else, if the other team decides to, just spam you down, they're just gonna absolutely destroy you.
Fair enough. Yeah, as a main tank, I kind of freeze up when I come up against Junkrat. I have no idea what to do. Just like a crazy Australian terrorist with one leg, spamming nades from God knows where, and I just kind of freeze up and just stand there until I get melted. Nothing like a Junkrat that is terrible for my day.
Yeah, wait a second.
Match chat looking a bit messy here, folks. But Andin, I got you. It is 1-0 on the side of Blank Assassins as they look to continue their undefeated streak so far this season. Now, it must be said, it is quite concerning from both teams here, coming out with a very little organization on their icons, their player icons over here. I can only apologize on behalf of the Overwatch Oasis League for this sloppy and unprofessional presentation.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of triggers me, but I can work with it. I'm a professional. I can live. But yeah, in any case, we're gonna be jumping straight in, and they are gonna. It's looking like Blank Assassins is gonna be taking defense first.
Looks like no swaps coming out from either team. Similar lineups jumping straight in. Blank Assassins, of course, coming in with, I believe, a 4-5-man bench. So the flexibility and the swaps are needed already if necessary. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. On the side over here, we got Westford and J-Dog teasing us with the Zarya Hog in spawn, but let's focus on the defense for now. Like you said, the double barrier. But something we don't see as often, the Doomfist on defense. What are your thoughts, CB?
Doomfist definitely can work, especially since there's really only like a couple ways you can go about attacking through this archway. Doomfist is a pretty nice little. He can cut off one of those options essentially, and I don't know. It's very smart if they decide to run a double shield because you can just go behind them, just stomp them. But we'll see what the Eclipsed decides to run.
Could be a bodyguard Doomfist as well, just to fend off this Junkrat by Pyro. Rogue is running the Pharah over here into a turret, and as well as Giants hit scan Baptiste, of course. We're very interesting to see how that matchup plays out. Of course, at this level, at the tier that these players are, landing shots onto a Pharah is usually not a problem, but of course the Pharah is also better at dodging shots. Now, Izzy looks like they're taking quite the healthy flank over here. We got a Mercy about to drop on point, if I'm not terribly mistaken. Nobody's really looking there. Izzy maybe waiting for the Pharah to pick them up, but Blank Assassins over here retreating back to point, playing very slowly, playing very safely over here. West caught in a little bit of trouble as that Doomfist goes after that Roadhog, punches them into a wall, as Giants does manage to help them take that down. Now Izzy's still sitting on this high ground, just a solo Mercy's just chilling out. As Rogue spams rockets from a very, very far distance over here. Izzy still with a blast out, finally going up to there and joining them as Sun's Icy Wolf picks up a kill. Piece cool fast, making it a clean 3. Not quite sure what Izzy was doing there on in the back line. A little bit of BM's a strong word because it was just closer to they were just hanging out, having a good time. But we have Westford over here, 3/4 of their way to an ultimate. Probably the first one to come online on the side of Solar Eclipse as Icy Wolf goes in deep, takes down Pyro, still has the cooldowns to come back, doing exactly what a Doomfist does best. Now the Bongos come out on the side of Nasty over here, but Sunsus gets traded out early as Giants does take down Rogue as well. CB, I'm a little confused if I'm being totally honest. I know I shouldn't say this out loud as a caster, but I'm not quite sure what the plan of attack here on the side of Solar Eclipse is. My brain, I am a gold player, so maybe I'm just not able to comprehend this level of play.
Yeah, I'm in gold too, and even I can see that this is not a great comp. I mean, you have, first of all, the tank line, Hog Zarya, that's question marks. And you also have a Genji Pharah. But I can understand the Pharah, maybe you want to run a pharmacy, which they are. But Pyro with the Genji, I don't know, man. I can't tell you why they're running this.
Exit kill as Solar Eclipse, right as we're criticizing their comp, do indeed pass the vibe check and get this payload rolling. Now we got J-Dog with the grab online, could be massive when comboed properly with the Dragon Blade coming up online for Pyro as well. Pyro gets chunked down to half though. Gotta get out with your life if you're looking to get any value of that Nano Blade. That Dragon Blade. Izzy with the Valk online as well. Cool fast with the Flux ready to respond.
Yeah, they indeed passed the vibe check here, but I mean, that doesn't mean that their comp is any good. They take first point, but they had to use pretty much all the ults.
Alright, so the blade comes out, but Suns answers with the trance. Not only is the trance there to counter the blade, it counters the barrage and the grab. That is 1 trance for the price of 3 map-winning ults, but they do manage to get the kills as J-Dog finds Nasty in the Pacey, in the backline over here. As the card does get rolling, but Blank Assassins are ready to regroup here with 3 players here on point. I counted the turret as an extra player. But Pyro not letting up. Blank Assassins probably forcing to do a much longer and much harder reset than they originally planned. Icy Wolf does find a kill onto Funny Rafa as well. Icy Wolf being so effective all day in that DPS role, finding these opening picks. But having to go up against Rogues, who has been equally dangerous this tonight.
Yeah, and yes, they won the fight, Eclipse that is, but they did have to invest every single ult. Meanwhile, Blank Assassins have plenty of ults to work with coming online anyways.
So Giants does go down. We saw that engagement start off with Izzy trying to boot Blank Assassins into the hole and Coolfast being forced to use the Flux to stay alive, but it all works out. The Flux comes out, finds 2, locks Rogues in the face. Giants finds Pyro as well, and Blank Assassins retake control of this point. Now we have Funny Rafa and Wes going extremely deep to touch the spawn door of Blank Assassins. Not quite sure the tactical reasoning behind this, but the Bongos do get committed in the castle. This isn't like anything I've commentated before, CB.
This is very odd. I'm not sure why Funny Rafa, Izzy, and Wes are doing this. Maybe it's to distract from the point that there are people on the cart, but I mean, they know that there's people on the cart. They clearly understand that, because I mean, they're contesting right now. But we'll see if they forget about the Roadhog.
Clearly not, because the Roadhog gets pulled off the point, tries to get for an exit hook, but doesn't make it work. West over here takes a swim in the moat of Eichenwald. We got Rogues here trying to poke in the backline, using that Widow sniper for what it does best, taking down Torb turrets.
Yeah, as you can see, Izzy is still in the backline, just not really being with his team. I mean, I'm guessing he's trying to look for a boop here, but the entire team of Blank Assassins is very aware of where he is, so I don't know if that's going to work.
Rose takes out Icy Wolf in the backline as Molten Core is committed. Giants drops the Immortality Field as well. They're able to do so much damage and so much healing behind that wonderful, beautiful, glowing rectangle. We have West coming in. They're like 4th, 5th, doesn't big flank of the day doesn't work out. West backs out back onto the high ground. Cool Fast over here dueling the Genji and managing to get the kill onto Pyro. It looks like Cool Fast is very comfortable on the ball today. We've seen them play a lot of that spin to win here that we love to see so much.
Yeah, one thing I really want to point out is Izzy spent so much time in the back line just trying to look for this boop that he has not built his sound barrier yet, and he really could have in that last fight, to be honest.
The person I feel it works for right now is not me or you, it's Jiva, because she has to find a way to somehow follow all this action all over the map with this camera. Now, J-Dog takes down Cool Fast in the front line as Westford takes down Giant's Immortality Field. This could leave that Baptiste a little bit unsafe over here. The high noon comes up from Icy Wolf, doesn't find anybody, finds a double. J-Dog and Izzy facing the wrong direction, not quite sure where Icy Wolf is coming from. Lil Lucan takes down Rogues as well in the backline, and it's just left a full brawl on card. Cool Fast slams down, takes down Westford and Funny Rafa, and that looks like Black Assassins is able to stop the point, stop the cart before it rolls on to B. One of the more bizarre matchups that I've seen. CB, I really don't have anything intelligent to say here. I'm just a little bit confused. I apologize to our 5 viewers.
Yeah, it's a very confusing attack that Eclipse was doing there. I mean, I will say that IC absolutely did work on that McCree at the very end, but one thing I really want to point out is Suns. He got, well, I don't know if it's a he or she, but I'm just going to say he, for now. He got
say
taken...
they. If you don't know, say they, CB, my goodness.
Well, they got taken out by Pyro with the Dragon Blade, but they traded, because Pyro also got killed by the Bionade. So without, without the Bionade coming down and taking out Pyro, it could have been a lot worse. Icy might not have even gotten a chance to use that, that double Deadeye.
Well, on the side of the defense here, we got Solar Eclipse coming out, West and J-Dog on that Ryan Sigma. Once again, not a very common combo, but one that I am personally a huge fan of. I think that offers the team a lot of brawl and a lot of sustain on point. Rogues and Pyro over here, though, running the Ashe and Bastion. Not a combo we see very often, especially with this tank lineup with Izzy and Funny Rafa backing them up with the Baptiste Mercy. I'm getting some Chengdu Hunters vibes here, based on the creativity that we're seeing out of Solar Eclipse, as, Pyro gets hooked nice and early on, and that is a 6-on-5 fight very early on the side of Blank Assassins. With the place that Rogue is set up, they're not really able to lay down too much damage, so the rotation does come in. J-Dog goes down early, though, as they're forced to kind of fight alone on point while the team rotates up top. Now they just rush the bottom of points. They just kind of hide behind that wall, forcing Solar Eclipse to drop. Unfortunately, that Sigma just drops by himself. Your favorite Dutch scientist falling very quickly to the Cool Fast Slam. Lil Lucan takes down Izzy as Icy Wolf hits Pyro in the face with a triplet of rockets. The Bastion strap being switched off after not really working to Solar Eclipse grand dreams and hopes.
Yeah, they tried to run this Bastion trap, which I said can work on defense.
Oh, J-Dog goes in with the solar charge. Sorry to cut you off. I'm just utterly confused over here. Now the wall comes out and actually manages to work. The absolute chaos of this. Maybe just a little bit confusing for Blank Assassins over here. Jack goes in for a huge pin, gets it off. Pyro helps finish off the kill as Solar Eclipse rallies back to touch the spawn door here on Eichenwald. Not something I expected to see, not something I expected to work, but then again, I'm just here to cast a curse some folks and make some people happy. Pyro gets a kill into Lil Luca right at the end as well. CP, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying that, well, I forgot what I was saying, but it's okay. I'm gonna move on to something new. I will say J-Dog playing very aggressive reminds me very much of Bumper from Vancouver. Just kind of going in there and hoping for the best. But it's working out because, his team has his back.
Bumper has he actually has unbound all his keyboard buttons, and every button is bound to charge. That's Bumper's secret. can never miss a shatter when you shatter like twice a minute. Now Coolfat's over here going down early on the point. That is a trade going out. The shatter comes out, finds that Torb in the backline, your favorite Swedish engineer laying on the ground. Westford takes down Lil Lucan in the backline, taking full advantage of that slam. As Giant takes down Pyro, that's a lot of damage on point being mitigated. Westford and Izzy both falling as well as Flanked Assassin starts to roll forward. Now Icy Wolf building a Blizzard over here without really any counters to that Pharah. If you're on the side of Solar Eclipse, there really is no way for you to get up there and challenge that aerial dominance.
Yeah, and I will say the one big reason why Blank Assassins won out in that last fight was because J-Dog kind of backed off while the rest of his team just charged straight in there.
Icy Wolf goes for an early barrage. The grab comes out on the side of West, but the follow-up really isn't there. Now the Sound Barrier comes in just to help their team stabilize as Izzy drops that, hoping to keep everybody safe, but the Molten Core is on point, and as in the pace, the Icy Wolf finding a kill apiece. Icy turning that into a double. Suns, you love to see it. The Mercy with the Glock, finding J-Dog. Oh, Pyro, you hate to see it. Someone clip that. Now the Flux comes out. West gets slammed down, but that is already after. Victory is claimed on the side of Blanked Assassins as we head into halftime here in the Overwatch Oasis League. That is Blanked Assassins 2, Solar Eclipse 0.
You know, honestly, I don't think, to be perfectly honest, I don't think Solar Eclipse really did anything wrong on the defense. I think their biggest mistake was just their comp in general. Like, the comp was not that solid. They didn't have anything to deal with that Pharah, and whenever Pyro or Rogues respawned, one of them should have gone hit scan, to be honest. Or, you know, something to deal with that annoying little Pharah in the sky.
I mean, even saying that, I think that if I have to be a little bit nitpicky, we saw a very disjointed use of ultimates coming out on the side of Solar Eclipse. On the defense, I wasn't sure. The grab came out very, very early, but none of their team was there to kind of follow up. So we're gonna, yeah, just not quite sure what we're seeing here, CB. I'm just a little bit confused. It just, the communication really isn't there on the side of Solar Eclipse, which is such a shame considering the mechanical skills that all these players must possess to be at such a high rank.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not too sure. Maybe they're not really taking this one seriously and are just kind of having fun with it. That's the only thing I can really come up with. But because I mean, I've casted them before. They actually put up a good fight, and they looked like a solid team, but I don't know. I can't. I just have question marks just swirling throughout my, like, circling my head right now.
Yeah, my brain is very little and well and truly bamboozled. But coming up next, we have Hanamura. Talk us through kind of these two capture points and what kind of 2 CP shenanigans we can expect here, CB.
Yeah, for Hanamura, especially first point, you can get away with running this on defense. You can get away with running this Hanzo, Ashe. You can, I wouldn't say Widow. I mean, you can run it, but a Widow, as soon as the team comes through main, it's pretty hard to defend as a Widow. For tank, I'm expecting Orisa Sigma still. You may get a chance to see some Ball or some Winston. Support, you know, you're just running the default Moira, Lucio, maybe Ana here and there. That's pretty much what you would run. And on the second point on defense, you could stick on the same comp. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe you want to go on the Reaper to get up close in their face and kind of brawl with them.
Right.
And on attack, I mean, you pretty much just mirror match, and it's pretty favored in the attackers, I would say, if you just mirror match it.
And of course, you know, the Sim TP strat, always very popular on point A and point B. I think something notable here is that both points have a low ground in the middle surrounded by lots of high ground, which can very easily, if you're not careful, become the kill zone, where you're taking fire from many different angles. The difference being that on point B, the kill zone's also the capture point.
Yeah, Hanamura is just one of those maps that you can honestly just get away with running a lot of different weird kind of strats. I think every 2CP map is like that. I mean, it's like for example, Anubis is one of those where you can just literally run everything, and it just works.
So we have some readies appearing to come through on both sides. Give me a second, chat. I gotta update my trusty notepad because I have the memory of a small rodent.
Okay, so I don't believe. Oh, we are having swaps. It's
It looks like
Wait, no.
Rafa is switching off. Funny Rafa is switching off a support role to play some tank next to J-Dog. We got West switching off the tank line, coming to play some damage next to Izzy, and brand new support line of Pyro and Rogues here.
Yeah, this is very interesting. They're playing off roles, and I don't know how that's gonna work because, I mean, when I was casting them, they just ran their default Funny Rafa, Izzy on support, Pyro and Rogues on damage, West and J-Dog on tank, and I've never seen this team run this lineup right here, so I'm very interested to see how this works.
Traveling to Hanamura. Initiating match.
Alright, we're going to be seeing Blank on the attack first, it's looking like. I mean, you know, like I said, you can really, for Eclipsed, that is, you can really get away with running some weird stuff here, so if they try something weird, like they did in Eichenwald, it might just work out. But I would honestly run default with the Ashe, Tracer, or, you know, Echo too, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like on the side of Solar Eclipse here, we're seeing, very standard Ryan Zarya, the Sim and Echo coming out. I'll be very curious to see if they get any value out of that teleporter. With Rose and Pyro on the Moira Lucio for plenty of AoE healing over here. But they're taking a very, very advanced position here. Maybe just to get some poke damage in, maybe to get a fire strike in before rushing back to point. But a risky strat nonetheless.
Yeah, this is a very interesting strat that they're trying to run. I honestly thought Izzy would at least set up the turrets on the point to try to, you know, set up a little bit of a defense just in case things go wrong. Here we go.
So they do go in. J-Dot goes in. Counter charge comes in from Nasty as well. The two Reinhardts touch nipples. Lil Lucan and Nasty getting a piece over here. That is 2 kills coming up. Pyro takes an Icy Wolf though. At this point, as silly as it kind of looks alive over here as it's anybody's game. Coolfast rocks Rogues in the face. Moira going down very, very quickly with that tiny little health pool that she has. We got a Lucio of Pyro buzzing around on point as Nasty eventually takes them down. So, very creative. Very exciting, but not quite effective coming out on the side of Solar Eclipse as Blank Assassins start to roll for it onto the point to grab point A capture.
Yeah, and like you said, it really came off the back of Nasty right there. He opened it up with just creating that space and finding one of the opening picks here. And you know, like you said, he just countercharged that Rhine, and his nips can cut through steel, and it just cut right through J-Dog's armor right there.
Fair enough. We got Coolfast over here taking a lovely little angle just to pressure J-Dog out. We got the 2-on-1 tank fight here, as it looked like Funny Rafa was super close to protect their main tank there. Lil Lucan Sun's finding one apiece as well. Rogue's finding a trade over there, but Lil Lucan with the old man angry, old man vibes over here. Tac Visor takes down Funny Rafa, demeched by Nasty earlier. Now the Shatter comes out to prevent the touch, and it looks like a blistering round 1 on the side of Blank Assassins.
That has to be one of the fastest attacks I've ever seen on Hanamura. I don't think I've ever seen an attack this fast.
Initiating match.
And I mean, it's just really a tank difference and just a lineup difference really. Like you have all these players on Eclipse just playing their off rolls, and it's just not working out for them. They're just getting beasted right now by the players who do play those roles.
I mean, I don't have a lot to say here, Stevie. I'm trying to come up with some talking points, some storylines, but this just looks like a sweep, looks like a wipe, and unfortunately, it looks like dare I say, like one team taking this a little more seriously than the other. But we have Solar Eclipse coming out now on the defense. Sorry, on the attack over here. Funny our friend J-Dog looking like running like a very standard brawly tank composition, of course, but backed up with something with a dive, DPS, and support lineup. We'll be very curious to see the synergy there, and if they have unlocked something that we have yet to discover.
Yeah,
so
they do want to get up close. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would say they do want to get up close and brawl here. It's looking like, and I'm curious to see, because I mean Nasty has been just kind of disgusting on this ride actually, just absolutely beasting J-Dog here.
Nasty over here getting those swings in as a big purple comes into J-Dog. That Rhyme forced it back up. That Ana battle is so important here. Yeah, you can see two Rhymes swinging at each other, but really it's the mind game between two Anas in these compositions that really decide that tank battle. Now,
yeah,
West does
sure.
fall early, goes in very deep. Icy over here finds him. That's ninja on ninja cannibalism over here. J-Dog is forced to back out.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's Ana v Ana right now. It's all the mind games of that. As you can see, Rogues is winning out. Already has the Nano ready to go.
Now the Nano comes through, not only does the Nano come through, the Anti comes out onto Nasty. That is a double whammy. J-Dog goes in deep and makes it work. The purple does expire and they do get healed up. J-Dog looking extremely healthy here on point. Oh, a lovely pin onto the Sigma. Cool Fast falling very early as well as Solar Eclipse. Once again, with a composition we haven't really seen, but making it work. Lil Lucan is left dead and shattered in their own bio healing over here, but it's not working. Another Nano comes out. The blade is deployed. Let's see what Icy Wolf can do. J-Dog gets taken. Now this might be winnable for Blind Assassins over here. Icy Wolf going deep, chasing the supports. Funny Rafa going down as Suns is traded out by Westbrook over here. The Reds comes on to Funny Rafa, so the Zarya is still up and alive. The charge gets reset to 0, but the bubbles are there to build them right up. We have Izzy taking out Nasty in the Pacey over here as the Reinhardt falls, Pyro falls as well. Blind Assassins looking like losing this point, but also looking very, very good as far as trying to stall, trying to get some time progress here. Already impossible for Solar Eclipse to deal a better time differential and time bank compared to the blistering Blank Assassins that we saw earlier. CB, just absolute chaos on point. A lot of staggers coming through, a lot of trickling coming through. I'm not quite sure what's happening, not quite sure what the plan of attack is here.
Yeah, and Giants and Icy Wolf are just absolutely just dominating in this stall fight. They've stayed alive for so long. Like, yeah, they're getting picked off, and and they're not winning the fight, but they're just stalling for so long, and finally they both go down and just, well, actually not the Baptiste. I mean, the Lucio's still left, so
yeah, Suns is out here
just
dancing their little heart away with that absolutely elite Lucio skin. Does eventually get taken down, but no worries, you have earned your gold objective time medal there. But we are seeing that Solar Eclipse forced to use ults to finish the cap off there, as Blanked Assassins has two online with the third ready to go very soon.
Yeah, now they don't really have much to work with here. Meanwhile, Cool has that gravitic flux, and they have the blade, and they also have the visor. They have plenty to work with to just defend the point here. So we'll see what Blink decides to pop and what to save, I should say.
Well, nothing right now, as Icy Wolf, just the shurikens are enough to take down Izzy over here. A 6-on-5 fight could be dangerous as West goes down as well. It is 6-on-4. Blank Assassin might decide to hit the go button and go very, very aggressive here. Pick up a little bit more ult charge, pick up some stagger kills over here. Maybe charge up 6 ults just to flex.
Yeah, and they haven't even pushed in. They haven't gotten a proper fight. As you can see, J-Dog just kind of emoting, just waiting for his team so they could do something. They just keep getting picked off before they even have a chance to go in.
Well, the very deep pin, the bumper signature comes out again. The pulse bump is Icy Wolf. Icy Wolf does dash and take down West with him. That is a lovely, lovely, lovely dash on a little bit of Genji tech to make it work. The Shatter comes out. Lil Lucan gets taken down, but not before the teal is there, as the Shatter doesn't quite work out for J-Dog, as Blank Assassins continues to hold on to the point. Like I said earlier, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm getting some serious Chengdu Hunter vibes coming out on this side of Solar Eclipse, right? There's a lot of chaos, fights that commentators often struggle to keep up with and trying to figure out a game plan, but eventually something happens, the crossfire is a little too much, and they do end up capping eventually, so you know, who are we to criticize it? Now, J-Dog goes for a Narnia pin, ends up on the low ground. Now, without the Reinhardt there, the Nano Boost comes out onto Icy Wolf, the Nano Blade finding 2, making it a triple. Rogues is the Amparo falling victim to our favorite cybernetic ninja. Funny Rafa accidentally kills themselves over there. Just a lovely little Zarya Altfire. J-Dog tries to get a charge onto Icy, but that is an easy dodge for Icy, as Nasty and the Pacey takes down West as well. We have a little less than 2 minutes and ticking over here for Solar Eclipse to try to force OT, or at least a draw.
Yeah, and they do switch J-Dog onto the Winston, so they're going to be trying to get that Primal built up here. They do have time to do so, but I mean, J-Dog earlier went for that Shatter, and no one was able to follow up on it. It was just kind of thrown in there to see what he can do. And there's the Nano.
Yeah, the Nano comes out onto J-Dog, not really diving any... Okay, trying to find the supports in the backline as the High Noon is deployed. Doesn't find anybody. Cool Fast is there to meet them with that barrier. Lil Lucan takes down J-Dog. J-Dog was very deep in the backline, if you recall from earlier. Icy Wolf take down Funny Rafa as well, and it looks like it's one fight territory on the side of Solar Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, this is just a support, tank, and DPS difference right now. I mean, Icy has just been nasty on this Genji, on this, and Suns, you know, given that Nano, that's very crucial. Also hitting some sick bio-nades too. And of course, Giants, you know, has been playing well in the Baptiste all series. It's absolutely amazing from him.
Well, Lil Lucan finds an early pick onto Rogue, so that's a lot of damage no longer coming out from that Zenyatta. The attack visor is committed to Angry Old Man in the backline, but Westford's taken out early as well. Lil Lucan finds a rocket to Izzy's face as Icy Wolf takes down J-Dog. Genji's use is supposed to be countered by Winston's, but Icy eating that monkey for lunch 2 fights in a row now.
Yeah, I mean, the supports are just there to help Icy out for, you know, so much. You know, you have the Nano and you have the Immortality Field. They're just keeping him alive, really, to just win these.
Yeah, the Flux takes down Rose as Lil Lucan kills Funny Rafa with a triplet of rockets over here. Now J-Dog dives onto the point, but it's just a solo monkey as they do get taken down from Lil Lucan as well. It's looking like very tough going on the side of Solar Eclipse as the map goes over to Blank Assassins, securing a win 3-0 against Solar Eclipse. But stick around because we have a map 4 coming out. The map differential, so important time come the end of the season.
Yeah, Icy performed very well right there. That is one of the better Genji performances you can ever hope for on your if you're on a team. But I mean, you also got to give credit to the Ana being able to keep up with Genji and building that Nano just as fast. But yeah, anyways, we will see if people are gonna if we're gonna be going to the map 4 actually.
I believe, I mean, with league regulations, we should be going to a map 4, but it's been a strange series. We've seen stranger things, and it looks like Rogue may be. It looks like Solar Eclipse might be forfeiting their last map, but let's just see what ends up happening.
Interesting. I don't know. Like I said, they just weren't really trying. They didn't have their head in the game at all. And I really got that feeling, especially on I'm blanking Eichenwald.
Yeah, I might get some flack on Stream Team after this because I know, in the Overwatch Oasis League, we want to keep it positive and we understand that everybody's taking time out of their personal lives to do this. Nobody's getting paid. We're not professionals, but it just looks like between the two teams, one of them put in a lot of preparation and one maybe not so much, and it's showing on the scoreboard. But we head to a map 4 here. As we have a request in match chat to ask Icy to stop trying so hard. I'm trying really hard to not be rude here, CB, so I'm gonna let you talk before I say something really mean.
Yeah, I mean, they can say what they want to say in the chat. It's whatever. But I mean, one thing I really do want to touch on, just to get it out there, in case they do decide to forfeit this last map. I want to talk about MVPs, honestly.
Yeah,
because
let's talk about MVPs because actually
MVPs
DB,
are only to
the
go
new
to the
update.
MVPs are only to go to the winning team tonight after that.
Yep. It looks like we have a forfeit coming out, and the Jibapedia has spoken. MVPs are to come out on the winning team, and fair enough. I think once again, Solar Eclipse came out and really wasn't ready to really throw anything at the wall, so I think that's fair enough that we give a lot of credit over to Black Assassins. And even though they came up against a very strange situation, they play their professional best, try to keep it all together, and of course, even in these chaotic fights, you could see Black Assassins had a very, very clear set of communications going, path very cleanly, so I think, first of all, I think we can start with Icy Wolf. I think they played absolutely out of their minds on the Genji today.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely give it to Icy for the DPS, anyways. Just played out of their mind on this Genji. To be honest, like just popped every single time. It had the blade, or just even in the neutral fight, just finding a lot of damage and a lot of picks in there. I want to go to support here. I want to, give it to, in my opinion. You can differ. I think it should go to Giants, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think Giants and Suns both played an excellent game there, and obviously, with the pressure that Solar Eclipse was putting out, there wasn't a lot of clutch moments that they were able to really show off what they could do. But yeah, no, fair enough. I think Giants also playing very cleanly, no mistakes coming out, and even if they weren't able to flex, I think sometimes a sign of a good support is one that you don't really notice that much.
Yeah, and I mean, you can touch on the tank if you really want to. You start off.
Yeah, I think Nasty and Coolfast both playing very good games. Of course, I noticed. I believe Coolfast was on the Sigma, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah,
I really enjoyed watching that, and I think, yeah, I was really, really taken aback by that performance.
Yeah, I can give it to Coolfast for sure. Nasty put up a great performance on that Rhine.
Yeah, Nasty was clean as well.
Just popped, found the shatters, found the fire strikes, and the damage, just laying it into J-Dog, especially on that last map. But yeah, Coolfast just put up a very solid performance all series long.
Yeah, I think there was a point where it was extremely noticeable on Hanamura B, where I believe J-Dog and Coolfast were kind of swinging away at each other on the point, but the peel was just there from Nasty to keep everybody to keep the main tank alive, and of course Nasty ended up winning that duel, so no arguments here for me. Here in the Overwatch Oasis League, we have Black Assassins taking Solar Eclipse 4-0 after playing out 3 maps. The last one was forfeited. We have MVPs coming out onto the side of Coolfast, Icy Wolf, and Giants to, I believe they make it 7-0 this season. I am Charles Tang, joined by CB and Jibba. Good night.
Bye.